What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Konosuba. Now today, we got some really amazing UI changes and things like that I really wanted to address, because there's some really, subtle things that they've done. And yes, we are going to talk about the new banners, we are going to talk about the new events, but we're going to talk about those in a different video. I really want to talk about these subtle UI changes that they've done here, because some of these are really fantastic. First things first, if you haven't noticed already, you probably should have before now, but here in quests, number 1, these are all lumped. Everything we're going to look at here in a moment is lumped under part 1. That means there's a part 2, maybe even 3, 4, 5, whatever, eventually coming. Now, if I go to part 1, you will notice they recently added chapter 9, and I do appreciate that the most recent chapter is the one that they've added, or the one that you basically go to right on the end, which is really, really, really nice. If I go to hard, in fact, I still can't beat that one in under a minute. I don't know what it is, but they've added 4 more hard modes for all these levels, and that just means that is just more you should be doing every single day, and some just absolutely killer rewards that you should be basically trying to achieve. So, new weapons, that's really nice too. I believe there's 1 or 2 new weapons that they actually added with this. Let's go to crafting. I believe, I could be wrong, but it feels like there's more weapons. I don't remember specifically. I think there's 1 extra sword here, maybe in the 4-star, and maybe 1 or 2 3 stars. But, just some general, quality of life stuff. And guys, by the way, you should be ready to start crafting some 4 stars by now. If you've been doing everything every day, you should have some 4 stars that are ready to be crafted. I'm personally waiting on a couple of these strategically, only because some of these crafting materials are fairly hard to come by, and with the next couple of events, we're going to be coming really, really, really close to getting some of these premium staffs. And I actually want this one way more than I want the wind one. I really don't have any use for the wind staff, so me personally, I'm holding on and waiting for those. So, just be aware of these things and start planning accordingly. As far as defensive items go, I've got a few down here that we can craft. So, I'm actually biding my time and hoping and just, debating as to what is going to be our next big move. But just understand that along with these UI updates, we've been in the game long enough, you probably will start seeing a lot of these things come available, and you will start being able to use them. Though the crafting materials are going to be hard to come by, so plan accordingly. Don't just go crazy and build the first thing you can. I know I did, but luckily the first thing I could was actually something I really could have used. It was actually really handy. We're going to do some damage testing with that here shortly, but neither here nor there. Some other really interesting UI stuff. So it's nothing, there's nothing really jumps out at you necessarily. It's all extremely subtle. And I think in a new game like this, that's actually really important. But if we go here to title, you'll notice that there's a whole new list of things you can get here. Most of this actually comes from Affinity. Now, I actually want to talk about that for a moment, because when you go into, let's just grab any old quest, doesn't really matter what we're going to do here. Once again, I really am not going to get picky about what we're going to jump into. You will notice when you get to your team build here. Now, one thing that I think is a massive, absolutely substantial change is it shows you the essays down here, and when you click on them, it's going to bring it up here, and it's going to tell you right on screen what these do, and it's no longer that little tiny, a lot of times I had a real hard time even just reading it on my screen down here. It's now bold, it's now big, you can now actually read it all. 312 normal physical, or 312% normal physical damage to one enemy, and significant boost to physical damage for all allies for 16 seconds. So you could really start planning accordingly and, decide what you're going to do as far as the incoming foes and all that stuff. And don't forget, you can use a skip feature. There's a skip feature built in, and if you do that, you basically sum up multiple attacks. You can get 2 attacks at a time if you really achieve that right. So with some units, especially like Mega Man, who, for all actual purposes, she's a fantastic unit, but I would love to, before she gets her SA off, get, some of the magic boosters and things like that on the team and get their skills out, then hit him with a skill or 2 before you actually do her SA. So there are things like this are really going to start getting into the realm of where we're actually able to see and to plan rather than having to use, the old team screen, this screen down here, and plan and then go back in there. The new screens for the actual fights are becoming a lot more convenient. And frankly, it's here as well. So, guys, that's another UI change that I think is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorites, personally, and this is going to seem really, really weird, if you go into Enhanced Members, you'll notice that there's now green buttons and red buttons. Green actually means you can promote a unit. So, like, I just got the Pumpkin Kazuma. Obviously, we're all going to basically have him new. I haven't actually promoted him yet, so I'm going to actually work on that here shortly. But if you see a red button like that one up there, that means that you can actually go do a skill upgrade. Skill upgrades are, of course, where you basically take your duplicates and you feed them in to make your units even stronger. So it's going to say here that with that unit upgrade, let's see, before it was cooldown 18 seconds at skill level 4, 128% light physical damage to 1. It's now skill level 5, 128% light physical damage to 1 enemy and minor recovery for all allies. Cooldown didn't change much, it's just a little bit stronger. At the bottom, we went from skill level 4 to skill level 5, basically maxed it out. Cooldown didn't change either there. That usually does change. But, there's just a moderate change to that. And actually, she's maxed out now, which is awesome. So that's really good stuff. So, just a very, very minor change here. But these are things you need to be aware of. And frankly, I like it because now when I go in here, rather than saying, okay, well, like, the little red dot we have up there in the corner, is that a unit I can feed dupes? Or is this somebody that I've been neglecting? Case in point, like Kazuma, now that I see that green dot, I know, yes, now I need to go in there and do promotion. So, another big UI change that actually is really, really, really critical, and I think it's going to help everybody going forward in the game. So, these are just little miniature, teeny tiny changes. Once again, nothing insane, nothing groundbreaking, but what's really awesome and what I think is going to make a lot of people happy, we now have a friends list. You can actually go in here, you'll have a friends setting, and you'll actually be able to share your friend codes and friend people in the game. So, go to profile here. And you can also change this right here. You can change your tags and titles and things like that. This is really more of a vanity change. There's nothing too crazy there. It doesn't, like, best I can tell, at least it doesn't give you a whole heck of a lot. But, there is that. But I know as far as, like, friend systems go, people have been asking for this. This has been heavily requested. So if you're wondering how to utilize this, I actually haven't done it yet, but, there's a whole FAQ in here. Make sure you go to utilize that. So it says here, make your first friend. So let's go ahead and click on that because I actually don't know how to do this. So, if you have an adventure with no friends, become the first friend, blah, 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 blah. A player that can be the first friend has the first friend marked next to the player's name or profile. Please note, even if the player has no friends or that can be used for the first friend, the missions are subject to change. But I know it's okay. I don't quite 100% get that. But neither here nor there, guys. We have a friends list. And I know a lot of people have been looking for this. A lot of people have been asking for this. Will we get a guild system? I can almost guarantee with this actually being implemented, it is inevitable. So I haven't actually had a chance to play with this much. I know some people are going to be asking us to. So tonight on the stream, we will actually be covering this quite a bit and, taking advantage of that. And really just kind of going through this and more or less relearning all these big changes. So, and I call them big changes. They are quite, like, minimal things, but they're, like, big to the general, like, user interface and basically how we interact with it. So here's the friend screen right here. So it says, I don't have any friends. So to get to this, and I realize, once again, I haven't done this yet. It's right here on the main screen. It's just right over there. It says friend. It's right below the community tab, right next to events. If you click on that, you've not added any friends. You can click search, and, well, there's my friend code. And we'll be doing that on stream. Don't try to friend me through the video. I'm sure I'm going to get a billion requests now, but it is what it is. And it looks like we have 100 slots right now. So if you want to get in my friends list, make sure at the streams. That's going to be the #1 way to do it. But for now, just know that is going to be a thing. So like I said, not massive changes, but definitely like little teeny tiny things that are going to help out a lot. Now, one thing this is not a permanent change. This is literally just kind of for now, but you do want to make sure that you are aware that there are daily bonuses again. So you want to take advantage of this, but also monthly login bonus and daily bonuses. We have another 4-star ticket here, and I believe for your first login every single day, there's another 4-star in there as well that you would get at the end of a week. So make sure you're paying attention to your login bonuses and all that stuff. Not a huge change there. That's not going to be a permanent thing. Obviously, once we get those rewards, they're gone. But 4-star tickets don't come around all the time. So make sure you're taking advantage and just at least log in every day. Me personally, when I log in, the number one thing that I do is I make sure I run all my quests 3 times. Or I run the event 3 times, I run the arena 3 times, and I do all of my hard quests just to get those rewards. And it's time consuming. It does take about 45 minutes to do all the dailies, and I know in comparison with a lot of other games that is a lot of time. But with your skip tickets and everything like that, you'd be surprised how quickly it'll fly. So that would be my recommendation. If you want like the best recommendation, how to have a good quality of life without like having to like lose your life on this game, that would be it. Just do all your hard quests every single day, at least for now. Like obviously once we get part 2 and we get 9 more stories, it's gonna be impossible to do them all. But do what you can, and when it gets to that point, there will become a time where you're just gonna want to target certain events for certain rewards. But run what you can run and get what you can get out of it right now. I run all let's see, 9 times 4. Yeah, I run all 36. Wow, I just did the math on that. That was insane. All 36 stories I do run 3 times. And plus, whatever we have in either the events or all that stuff. It is cumbersome. It's not the easiest thing to do. Like I said, it does take some time. But if you want a good quality of life in the game, that's the way to do it. But really good stuff. Let me know what you guys think of a lot of these changes. Like I know on the surface, nothing really changed here, but there are minor things. Like if we go into the exchange, this has slightly changed a little bit. In fact, guys, Troll Attack, this is the old one, and I do have some stuff in here. We're going to talk about this in tomorrow's video. But, power potions are something that was definitely changed here. You can exchange all your smaller potions for the bigger potions. I don't know that that's really like the greatest thing in history, but it is a thing you can do. That is another minor change. So like just little tiny things here and there to really help you out. So let me know your thoughts in all of this down below. Are you excited? Like basically, did this like change your perception of the game at all, or you just nothing really changed for you, or maybe you don't like something? Let me know in the comments section. Other than that, guys, thumbs up the video if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys tonight for the live stream.